really listening, to be honest. Which one are you, Siobhan or Simon? I can never tell. Because old people do that thing of, when you talk to you, they can be very annoying when they forget your name and tell you the same story 50 times. They don't forget your name. And they know they've told you the same story. They're enjoying that. They just want to see how much you want to inherit the walnut cabinet. That's all that's about. It's better, though, to be subjected to that than a lot of adult conversation. So much adult conversation is just a bunch of lies. You spend so much time being polite to people, turning up and saying, "Oh, I'm so sorry I'm late. There was a traffic, awful, and I had to perform a tracheotomy on a camel with just using a garden shears. It was very, very difficult. Very, very sorry." Just be honest with these people. Come in and say, "I knew you were here." Do you know where I was? I was at home. I had a bun. And it was delicious because I knew you were waiting. I have never really liked you. But we have to get through this meeting. Can I get a drink, please, just so I don't have to look at you too much all the time? Or when people break up, they always use a bunch of lines on each other. Terrible, rubbish lies. Like, "It's not you, it's me. It's me. It's never you, it's always them." You should level with these people. Tell them, "You know that strange sound you used to hear when you were going asleep? That was me chewing the bed. Out of sheer boredom. Oh, how I hate you. I hate you so much it gives me energy. I have to get up early in the morning to hate you because there isn't time enough in the day. Please go away." Or that other bullshit, "I need more space." People never quantify exactly how much space they need, do they? But strangely enough, it all seems to be the exact same height, depth, and breadth as you. Oh, anyway, listen, do you know what? I think that's probably the first half, kind of. I should go away now, and then we'll come back and do more. It's awfully hot, and you need a drink, don't you? All right, I'll see you in a minute. Bye.
Sexual positions. Which one is your favourite? A, Space Cowboy. B, The Blind Moose. C, Suicide Pawnbroker Boogie. Right, I've got, what's the valency of beryllium? Do you want to talk about, have you got any plans for the future?
Right! Okay, so, what were we saying? Oh yeah, Iraq. Now the thing is, I found all that very hard to follow, I mean, I'm not going to talk about Irish news because I don't know it, to be honest, at the moment. But I mean, from what I remember of, when I was here, when I was properly Irish before I betrayed by leaving, that the news was always things like, "We're building a bridge, but we don't have any river to build it over, so it's been cancelled and we're not going into work anymore," and that kind of thing. International news is more dramatic somehow, I find. And I know I'm not very political. I don't pretend to understand most of it, okay? I don't even like the people involved. I think that they remind me, the sort of people who are drawn to politics remind me of the sort of people I used to live with who would leave notes. In flats, Like, "We're out of coffee, don't mean to make a big deal about it, but it was mine, because it was on my shelf, and it was taken from there. So, if anybody feels like replacing it at any time, that would be okay with me," underlined, Tina. Or please remember to leave the bins out in the bin leaving out area, which is marked bins. Tina. I used to end up leaving the odd note for Tina myself. You know, dear Tina, everybody hates you. Including people you haven't met yet. Your mum called just to say she's so glad she didn't hear from you. You can't be doing that. Politicians say terrible things about one another. They're always calling each other names. You know, there's that woman, that English minister, Anne Widdecombe, who said about the leader of the Conservative Party, Michael Howard, there's something of the night about him, which is a great phrase, actually, but she said it. And she's one of those people whose looks are remarked on, which is totally unfair. But her voice sounds like a stegosaurus with its arse on fire. Or somebody being drowned over a period of months. How do you get that many fingernails on one blackboard? And you can't help it, once you're over the age of 30, you end up watching the news programs, you know, Newsnight or whatever it is, because no other experience is going to make you that bored and angry at the same time. Him, I hate him! He comes out every time, and he comes out, and he goes, no, make it go away. Because you can't watch the American news, you know, the CNN or Fox stuff, because they're just so terrified that you'll get bored and wander off and flip channel. They're so patronising. That's why they have the programmes presented by 45 guys. Hi, I'm Ted, I'm Bob, I'm Ralph, I'm Dick, I'm Dale, I'm Nick, I'm Will. And they keep changing all the angles of the cameras. I'm over here, I'm at this desk, I'm standing here, and Wendy comes up from under the desk with the financial weather. Because this is ridiculous. The only place I think to get your news is BBC Radio 4. It's a great institution. It's almost too good, though, because you get up in the morning and turn it on, you know, at about 7 or 8, and you can't really find your elbow yet. And there's the guy, John Humphreys, who does a lot of the interviews, and he sounds like he's been up since about midnight, jogging on the spot to accuse people you've never heard of lying. It's very aggressive right from the off. You know, you turn it on and he goes, don't lie to me! Don't lie to me! I've been doing this for 45 years. What do you think I am, a fucking turnip? But because it's the BBC, they mix it up with total whimsy. So they go from that over to a woman called Jenny Murray, who's talking to some people who once walked into a haystack and bonded and set up their own knitting factory publishing company. And then it's back to Andrew Marr, the political editor, outside the Houses of Parliament. Somebody says, you're there, Andrew, we understand you're outside the Houses right now, standing there in shoes. What's going on? And he'll say, well, a bunch of guys came out, you know, and they accused another bunch of guys of lying, but then the guys who were accused of lying countered with their own allegations. And then the original accusers countered with counter accusations. Then a very, very old man, we think he's a judge, we're not sure, came out and said that the original allegations were in fact true, and every subsequent exchange was in fact entirely false. But he himself is wanted in 87 different countries for lying to children and people he dug up just to practice lying. And then, wait. And then, it's back to John Peel. Hello, have you ever licked the underside of an ice cube? Well, Norman Worrington did, and he was born in a coal bucket in Shrewsbury. Tell us all about it, Norman. Well, I began to melt my own knees from the age of 5. And then it's back to John Humphreys. Where are the bombs? Where are they? Am I a bomb? Is this pen a bomb? Get up so I can kick you again, you lying fuck! It was very hard to follow that and then to continue following what is going on there. I think a lot of it becomes confusing because of the language used. You know, these euphemisms, like regime change. What is that exactly? It sounds, you know, like one of those TV makeover programs, but for a whole country, where all the soldiers are going, not yet, wait for it, wait. Just stand over here, wait. Now, oh, I love it! The burning, the murder, it's fantastic! It makes such a change from waiting to be tortured. Oh, we can get that too! Oh, fantastic! And then, you know, there was this enormous wave of anti-American